Coach's comments with Rocky Russo following tonight's 2-0 shutout victory over the Waterloo Blackhawks. Coach, overall thoughts of tonight's contest, back and forth, high-paced action, a really good hockey game, I think, back from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty even hockey game, obviously. Shots are 27-27. We get a early power play goal, clean sheet on our penalty kill. Couple great saves by our goalie and net an empty netter late in the game. My initial reaction is just really proud of the guys coming on the road in a tough situation. It's always really hard to play hockey games here in Young Arena. And, we're on the bus for a while this morning and earlier start than normal for a Friday. But everybody's a part of the win tonight. All four lines are going, all 7D are going, and when that happens, you tend to have a lot of fun when you're doing it too. And the biggest difference now from 2 weeks ago is the guys are having fun. They understand that they got to jump in with 2 feet. They understand they have to embrace the identity of the team and what we're trying to accomplish, and they're holding each other to that standard. And took us a little while to get there, but we're there now, and so it's exciting to kind of watch it grow.
First star of the game was brought to you by ArtFX. Will Prowse was phenomenal for you guys tonight. Made a couple of really good saves on the breakaway. Your goalie always has to be your best penalty killer. I thought he was really good, and when they had the power play chances, what did you see from him between the pipes tonight? He was
solid as a rock, and not only was he solid, but I thought he was really soft up top and managing pucks and not giving up those rebounds that sometimes are hard to deal with when you get them up in the top half of your chest. But he was composed. He handled his rebounds. Obviously makes a big breakaway save there in the third period. Their goalie made a bunch of saves, and I think we had more pucks laying around their net than they had laying around ours, and we just couldn't get to them. And so it told the guys the next step in the identity is the willingness to get to that net and find those rebounds, and maybe let's score a couple in between that power play goal and the empty netter so that my head doesn't hurt quite so much at the end of the night.
Well, at least you did get cooled off a little bit there. I think I saw you get snowed on the bench at one point.
Yeah, Griffin Brown looks like he's teaching snowplow stops at his dad's youth hockey camp. Came flying out of the penalty box there, and of course I got my glasses on, so my glasses were covered with snow. But he's hustling to the bench, so that's the most important thing. And I didn't like the call on him. I didn't like either call on him, quite frankly. His stick got caught in the wall down in the far end on the first one, and that one they were just kind of tangled up. But you can't control that. We spend our positive energy on the things we can control, and certainly the officiating is not one of them.
Cade Kohansky gets the goal on the power play, his first goal since the season opening tally that he had against the Madison Capitals on the breakaway. You mentioned to me earlier this season that you just got to stick with it. When you have these offers early in the season, eventually when you go over in a 3-game stretch in the middle of February, nobody's going to care. But 3 power play goals in the last 2 games, including, a penalty shot goal, has got to feel good for that unit to get good. And your penalty kill, again, really good tonight.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the game is played in a couple different scenarios, and power play is a very important one of them. And certainly our power play didn't look great in the first 5 or 6 games, but it's starting to click, and we're starting to simplify. I think we were trying to do too much. We were trying to show too many looks in one power play, and so the guys are recognizing where we're trying to generate pucks from and how we can create, and I mean, we only had the one today, but I did think we had some really good looks on the other power plays.
Alex Pelletier has a goal in 6 straight games. It's an empty netter at the end of the day, but still, it goes as a goal in the goal column. He worked really hard tonight. That line, I think all your forwards from top to bottom worked really hard tonight. What'd you just see from your forward group?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Pelly gets the empty netter there at the end, but he's out there because we trust him to be defensively responsible, and so he gets rewarded with that one. But I thought, the 12 guys that were dressed tonight, everybody played really well. Everybody competed. Everybody was given their best effort. And certainly there's some things we want to clean up. We turned a couple pucks over in the middle of the ice. We turned a couple pucks over trying to make some hope plays behind the goal line. And those are things that are just – they're mental mistakes that we need to kind of fine-tune. But the effort's there. And to me, as long as the effort's there, I can overcome some of those mistakes because we can outwork our mistakes. When you're not competing and you don't have enough of an effort, then those mistakes become magnified.
All 3 of your captains get points tonight on the stat sheet. That's got to feel good for, of course, that leadership group.
Well, they lead from the front. you know, and they're setting the example in regards to the compete. And when you compete as hard as those guys do, you're going to get rewarded for it. And I mean, Loomer is just, he's a dog on the empty net goal, causes the turnover. Pelly ends up scoring on it, and he's able to get out on the ice before the icing, and so he's on the ice there with kind of a partial change, and he ends up taking the last face-off because I trust him the most just to be so heavy right there, and so he ends up winning that puck back, and we clear it in the corner. But that's what those guys do, and that's why they have letters on their jerseys, because their compete level and the example that they set is exactly what we're looking for when it comes to the identity of Lincoln Stars.
Is this a character win for you guys?
Yeah, 100%. You know, whenever you go on the road and you get into this building, you know, I've been in this building an awful lot in the last 4, now 5 years, and I don't think maybe one time, game one of the playoff series a couple years ago, we kind of put it on them, and then in game 3, we kind of shut them down. But every game has been a tight game in this building, and when we played them, and quite frankly, every game that they've come to the ice box has been tight. We beat them 1-0 in an overtime penalty shot last year on one of our wins against them. So, you know, it's fun to play these guys. They're coached really well, and their compete level's high, and that's what junior hockey game in the United States Hockey League is supposed to look like.
And we get to do it all again tomorrow. That's the best thing about this.
Yeah, and that's, you know, when you go on the road, and this is actually, it's been a while since we've done back-to-back games in Waterloo in the regular season. Normally come on 2 separate occasions and try to catch someone else. So it's kind of fun to be able to roll it back. I know the league and the schedule generally doesn't dictate that, but I like that traditional 2-game set against the same team on the weekend. I think it creates a pretty fun environment for Saturday night.
Coach, thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and call it a night. The Stars and Blackhawks back in action again tomorrow. We'll see you then. Stars with a 2-0 victory over the Blackhawks tonight. Thank you for listening.